Felicitations, adventures, and welcome to Roll for Felicity, where we play a multitude of systems with assorted players. And tonight, I have some of the assorted players with me. I'm playing with Mike, Tyler, and Casey, and we are doing a special Valentine's Day themed double date stream. Tonight, we're playing the game I'm a Lover, Not a Fighter, which is written by Grant Howitt. And if you're familiar with the game Honey Heist at all, it's basically the same rules as Honey Heist, it's just reskinned a little bit. I'm really excited to play this tonight, and really excited to do a fun Valentine's Day kind of thing. I love doing the double date streams, they're always super fun. Also, you'll notice I have some Valentine's Day decorations behind me, some little wall clings that I stuck. One of them I'm blocking. It says I'm nuts and bolts for you. But yeah, excited to get into the spirit of things. Yeah, we've got Melanie in the chat. Hello. So I guess I'll give a little description of what we're playing, and then I'll let the players introduce themselves. So the game, like I said, it's a hack of Honey Heist, which basically means that, it is basically the same rules as Honey Heist. Things are just, named different things. That's basically the best way to explain it. And tonight our players are playing, I'll just read from the rules. You are a charming devil, a beautiful cutthroat vagabond, a buckler of swash, and you're always getting caught up in wild adventures. So the three players tonight are swashbucklers, kind of Errol Flynn types. And so without further ado, I'll let them each introduce themselves as themselves, and we'll meet their characters in a little bit. Mike, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey everyone, my name's Mike, and this is my, third or fourth time on the stream now?
More than that.
I always say
like, yeah. I think it's maybe fourth or fifth.
Anyway, always lots of fun, and I'm excited to just goof off a little bit, as always, and hang out and have fun.
Yeah. And then Tyler, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tyler. Been playing a lot of different RPGs. This is actually my first time on the stream, so yay.
Yeah.
But no, RPGs are a lot of fun. Really excited to get into the story here. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. And then Casey.
Yeah, hi, I'm Casey, and this is my first time on the stream, and my first time playing anything like this, so yeah. Here we go.
Yes, it's gonna be great. I should also say Tyler is also part of the reason why I'm even able to stream really at all, Tyler and Casey, because when I first started streaming, my very first stream, basically looked like an extended GIF. Everyone was just moving very slowly. And I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And so I posted on Facebook and was like, hey, does anyone know, I think I need to upgrade my RAM, but I don't know how to do that. And Casey was like, oh, my husband can help. And Tyler was able to help me figure out exactly what I needed to do. And it worked. It worked fine. Hopefully tonight it is not an extended GIF. It has not been that bad since. I think that did solve the problem.
That's good.
Yeah, she's been only going up ever since.
It's only been going up ever since. So yeah. And then also Casey, part of the reason why I have great faith that you'll be able to do a great job tonight is just because I remember when we were in speech together in college, and you always did such great speeches, such great emoting and everything. So I think this is going to be a really fun,
Nice.
a fun stream. So yeah, I guess without further ado, we'll get right into it. And is there anything else I need to say about the rules? I guess I'll describe the rules really quickly. Normally I don't do rules at the top of the stream, but this one is so simple that I think I'll explain it so people can follow along. Like I said, if you played Honey Heist, it's pretty much the exact same. All the players have two stats, Lover and Fighter. And both of those stats start off at 3. Whenever they succeed at a roll, they're inversely proportionate. So whenever they succeed at a roll, the Lover stat goes up, the Fighter stat goes down. Whenever they fail at a roll, vice versa. The players are trying to roll under what their stat is. So unlike D&D or games like that, this is a roll under game. It's making me nervous that you're looking over here instead of looking at the camera. I'm like, what's happening over here? Anyway. In any stream with Mike, it's gonna be chaotic. He's gonna be doing something interesting. But yeah, and then also as the audience, anybody watching the stream, as usual, I do have my donation set up. Let me get my bot to put that. I believe that's the right thing. So if you want to give the players a hand, you can tip either 100 to 500 bits or $1 to $5. It's the same equivalent. To pick a player and give them advantage on a roll, for 600 to 1,000 bits or $6 to $10, you can name an NPC. And for anything over $10 or 1,000 bits, you can just make something true about the world. So you can donate, or I tip, not really donate, but you can tip money. And just say, like, it's still kind of at my discretion a little bit. If it's something that I don't think will work, I might say, like, hey, maybe do a different one. But you can just say something that's going to be true about the world for the rest of the session. And all tips are split between the participants. So obviously just watching, hanging out, being in chat is amazing. We love the support so much. But also if you do want to, like, add a little bit of your own flair to the session, you can do that. So, that being said, tonight is Baron Bloodworth's annual masked ball. The three of you have not been invited, but you are in attendance. The Queen herself has sent you to liberate a genius inventor who, rumor has it, is being held captive by the Baron, forced to create an invention that will return fortunes to the once wealthy Baron. Not much is known about the inventor, but they are rumored to have been instrumental in the war efforts, but for the opposing country. Whatever they're working on could be a weapon forged against the royal family to bring the Baron to the throne. And this is a Valentine's Day ball. And you all arrive at this mansion. The Baron's mansion was once well appointed, beautiful and lively, but as he has fallen on poor fortune, the mansion is in disrepair. The East Wing, once the home of a legendary library, small art gallery, and spa, is completely shuttered. The spare rooms of the South Wing were too much to heat, and some whisper amongst themselves that the Baron doesn't even have servants anymore. But even as he's fallen on hard times, he's known for his generosity. His mansion is in disrepair, but when he hears that someone needs a place to stay, he always offers his home. When a couple are in need of a place to marry, his grounds are always available. Even as he has lost money year after year, he manages to continue to make generous donations to the nearby orphanage. As a result, his Valentine's Day masked ball is always well attended, despite the draft in the ballroom and the poor quality of the wine. And as I mentioned, the three of you were not invited to tonight's ball, but given the nature of it, you have arrived nonetheless. And if you want to each, maybe I'll start with Mike again, like we did for introductions. Describe your character a little bit and what you look like as you, I'll say as you enter the ballroom.
Enter the ballroom.
Yeah.
So I'm playing a character named James Johnson. He is royalty, and as he struts, and I really do mean struts into the ballroom, he's sporting his typical ball attire. He's got his signature orange hat, poofy hat on. He's also got a little orange cape with some ornate sort of designs on it. James Johnson is also very short. He's under 5 foot tall. He's got a pencil-thin mustache, and he's got a bit of a he's got a bit of a scowl on his face. He looks very unimpressed by this shoddy sort of castle that he's found himself in, but he's kind of surveying the situation right now as he walks in.
Yeah. You walk in, you kind of survey, you see there are appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, there is wine, but just the quality, especially with someone as royal-blooded as James Johnson. Not maybe the caliber of food that you're used to. And yeah, Tyler, I think I'm imagining that you to boost your stealth as much as possible, or kind of arriving separately so as not to attract attention. So James Johnson, enters, kind of starts mingling with people. And Tyler, do you want to describe your character as you enter the ballroom?
Sure. So I will be playing Marlon Wells. He is someone who prefers to kind of stick to the shadows, definitely more of a brains over brawn sort of person. Bringing in at a much taller height than Mr. James Johnson here, standing at probably about 6 feet tall, blonde hair about shoulder length, some stubble framing the face. I did come to the ball wearing just like a nice black vest with some like a red dress shirt under that, black pants, kind of like darker colors. I do have a mask on, with it being a masquerade ball. It's covering the left side of my face. Just kind of like, think Phantom of the Opera, where it kind of goes like right over the side there. So I kind of walk into the main hall here and just kind of look around, see that it's pretty dark, dingy, go off into a corner and just start people watching.
Yeah, you kind of enter a little surreptitiously, kind of look around, make your way over to a dark corner.
Yeah, don't want to make a stir or anything, kind of trying to slip in unseen and remain unseen.
Yeah, exactly. And then last, do you want to describe your character Casey as you're the last to enter?
Yeah, so my character is Ava Gadsby. She is mysterious, and she's also really good at acrobatics. And she also is a really good sharpshooter, kind of like the assassin type. So whenever I walk into the ballroom, my goal is to kind of scope out like a good area and kind of just like take it all in. I obviously like my desserts too, so I'm gonna go over to the dessert table, scope that out as well, and kind of feel what the vibe is of the room. And my outfit is kind of more black and blending into the scenery that way. Like you said, no one sees me there.
Yeah. Do you have I don't think Mike mentioned his. Do either of you have fancy hats that you're wearing to the ball?
Oh, mine's a fascinator. So like one of those like English tea hats.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, I'm wearing a fedora.
Perfect. You managed to escape notice despite wearing a fedora as you go over to the corner. Yeah. You all kind of make your way in. Ava, you are sort of sampling the baked goods, and they're fine. You know you could do better. But you know the Baron's fallen on hard times. This is maybe the best that Baron Bloodworth could possibly do. And yeah, I think all three of you all know that each other are going to. The chat is saying a fedora and a phantom mask, yeah. Which I hadn't really.
I was also thinking that
together. Very good. Yeah, you all I think know what to look for. I think you've coordinated a little bit beforehand because all three of you have been hired to be at this ball. So as you're kind of people watching and scoping out. And I think Marlon, go ahead and we'll start off with a roll. I think this would be a fighter roll to kind of people watch and see kind of, maybe a lover. It doesn't really matter. Both three right now. So you can just roll a d6 to see what you kind of see as you're scouting out the area.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Nice. That's good, yeah. So you're kind of in the corner with your phantom mask and your fedora pulled down a little bit. And there are a lot of people in attendance. There are a few of whom that you know. So you do see the Baron, Baron Bloodworth. And he, I think it's up to you whether you've encountered him before. I think it would be possible for any of you to have met him before. I'll leave that decision up to you. But you know he's described often as a mousy sort of man. He's a little, again, maybe not quite as short as James, but he's on the shorter side. He has kind of graying brown hair, and interestingly is dressed up as a mouse. He has a little mouse, jeweled mouse mask. So you see him kind of, making the rounds, greeting different people. You also see Lady Rebecca Holiday, and you know that she's a known, very flirtatious, she's a debutante. She's dressed as a rabbit. She has like a rabbit mask, and her hair is like kind of into like these her powdered wig is in these kind of like rabbit ears. You also see Lord Bastian Minost. He is very trim. He's known for his swordsmanship. And he's wearing a purple jacket, tight purple pants, and has the mask of a goat with a long fake beard. I think I'll say, Ava, you, even though you're not the one who rolled, you notice him despite not really being people watching because he is wielding a katana, which is kind of your, you immediately notice that.
On that.
He's a skilled katana wielder. And then also I think everyone would notice this person because she's kind of everyone at the ball notices this person. Lady Eveline Evangeline. She has a blonde wig that's piled very high on her head. She's wearing the largest, most ornate dress that any of you have seen. It's blue and yellow, and each part of the dress kind of looks like flower petals. And her hair has like kind of flowers. She has a mask that looks like a pansy, kind of like a pansy mask. And you can see, I think, with rolling a 1, which is the best possible roll that you can get in this game. You notice, Marlon, that there are butterflies kind of flying around her as like part of her costume for the masked ball. So they're like kind of alighting in the flowers in her hair, like kind of staying around her. And then the last person that you notice, and I think probably only Marlon notices this person. You notice someone dressed as a mechanical man, kind of looking like wearing gold, kind of looking like a little bit like a clockwork man or robotic man. And you know that this is the butler. You can see kind of he's going around and like checking in with people and like refilling drinks and doing that sort of thing. And you notice that he's kind of scoping people out, and I think you would kind of think like, oh, okay, that might be someone that we need to like avoid since we're not actually invited. But yeah, that's kind of what you see as you people watch. And yeah, I'll leave it up to you all if you want to meet up and compare notes, or if there are people you want to talk to, hand over the reins a little bit. James, you look like you have something in mind.
Yeah, maybe, James will also go over to the, dessert table.
Yeah.
And just as he's scoping out the food situation, and he's not very impressed by what he's seeing. He picks up like something in the buffet,
Mm-hmm.
and then like just sort of like, and then like drops it.
No, I'll say that's an interesting move for someone who your skill is supposed to be your etiquette. So
That's true. Well, I don't find this to be even of any caliber of
so you're not concerned with the etiquette at this ball.
Terrible. And, like, the best option is to just grab it.
The best you decide the etiquette would be to just not eat this because you know what your response might be because it's just not very good.
That's correct.
Ava, James kind of sidles over to you. You see him pick up this dessert and drop it on the table as he's kind of perusing the dessert tray over by you.
Okay, so I'm going to leave the dessert table. It's strange. And I'm going to notice that goat man with the katana.
Yeah. Do you
yeah,
wanna,
that's whenever. Oh, go ahead.
do you want to go up to him, or are you just kind of eyeing him?
I'm just kind of eyeing him. You know, I was scooping out the crowd, but now it's like
Yeah.
eyes on Katana Man.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and I'll say this is a lover roll. Go ahead and roll lover. So you're gonna want to get a 3 or lower to see if you can kind of scope out the Katana Man.
Nice.
Okay, so you kind of, you've got this fascinator, you're dressed like for this party, and you start to go over and did you try any of the desserts, or were you just looking at them?
I was just looking at them.
Yeah, I think you're
I
still,
think they look terrible.
yeah, you're still like holding one as you kind of turn away to look at this Katana Man, and he's what is his name? Bastion, Lord Bastion. Kind of looks at you, looks at the dessert that you're holding, and like wrinkles his nose a little bit and like turns away. And goes over to talk to Lady Eveline. It was not a good first impression. He didn't like that you were holding the dessert.
Well. Rude.
Yeah.
That's why I dropped it.
Yeah. You dropped it as soon as you were holding.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah, so your fighter stat will go up 1 and your lover stat will go down 1 since you failed the roll.
Are you by the desserts then?
No, I'm just looking at this man, and I know I didn't make a good impression. And I'm still holding my one dessert, and now I look sad. With my sad dessert.
Well, I guess I would still see James Johnson sitting over at the dessert table, kind of thinking through stuff. So I kind of walk up behind him and just quietly say, "Be careful of the man dressed like a golden clock, like the clockwork costume. He seems to be the one looking for people like us." And just walk away.
Do I see this person that he?
Yes, yeah, you see this clockwork person kind of going on, and actually kind of headed in your direction. I think Marlon kind of like fades off into the shadows of the room. And yeah, James, you notice this clockwork. He's not actually. Our cat is attacking Mike, as she always does when he's at the desk. You notice he's not actually a clockwork man. He's just kind of dressed as one. But yeah, you notice this clockwork man kind of coming over towards you.
He's like heading my way.
Yes, he's heading your way.
Are
you wearing a mask, by the way?
Yeah.
So appalled by everything that he forgot his mask.
Yeah.
I forgot it in the car.
It's fine. It's
I
up
think
to
I
you.
probably should be, even though I wasn't going to originally. So yeah, I think I'll have kind of a I don't know what it looks like exactly. I think it's looks very, maybe sort of like a golden kind of look to it.
Okay.
Something like that.
Melanie in the chat asked if you were a pumpkin man because you had the orange puffy hat and the orange jacket. So you're
a very slender, short pumpkin man
with a gold mask.
With a gold mask. Yeah, I'm gonna see this guy or whatever coming towards me, and I'm going to try to pretend like I see someone I know and start like walking to like go to talk to them.
Cool. I think this would be a lover role to try to kind of find someone to talk to,
and then try and like disappear. Into the.
Okay, that's a 1.
Yes,
so go ahead and your lover stat goes up and your fighter stat goes down, right? Yes. So yeah, you see this mechanical man kind of making his way over towards you with a little bit of a scowl. You get this tip off from Marlon, like, hey, watch out for that guy. And you are able to like kind of like, you do that thing where you're like looking around and like, and like go over towards someone else. And you're royalty, so like
it's short. Probably get lost in the crowd pretty easily.
You're royalty and short. You duck away. Who are you going to? Are you going to talk to a specific person? No.
No.
So you just go up and talk to somebody. Cool. Yeah, Marlon, what do you think you're up to? As your compatriots are just kind of like moving back and forth, like to the dessert tray, away from the dessert tray.
Oh, let's see. So I think I would actually want to go maybe talk to someone for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to this Bastion Minost. I mean, the purple goat outfit kind of piqued my interest. Just want to talk. I'm not going to give him my real name. I am going to give a fake name.
I was going to do the same.
And pretty much anything I would tell him probably would be pretty close to a lie.
Cool. So yeah, you go up to Bastion, and yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and have you roll lover first, and then depending on how that roll goes, we'll kind of play out how successful you are at lying. And I think you do get to roll 2d6 because lying is your specialty.
Yep. So I rolled a 5 and a 6, so that's a
So we'll usually when I'm doing like tabletop games, I do for interpersonal things like to roll the roll first and then role play them after. So it's like you're not like, oh, you have a really good scene, and then for some reason it doesn't go off very well. So this is you go over to talk to Bastion, and this conversation is not going to go well. But let's go let's go through it. So you kind of approach him, and he turns and says, "Oh, I don't believe I've met you before. What was your name?"
Oh man, I forgot my name. My name's Franklin Pineheart.
Oh, Franklin, are you one of the Massachusetts Pinehearts? And he holds his hand out to you.
No.
You shake hands. He kind of narrows his eyes and he says, "So, how exactly did you get invited to this party? I'm not familiar with you. I know almost everyone else here."
Well, I mean, it must be the one person you didn't know then.
He gives you kind of like wrinkles his nose a little bit, similarly to when he saw Ava holding the pastry, the bad pastry. And he says, "Oh, of course. Well, if you don't mind, I have a few business opportunities I need to discuss." And like without even waiting for your response, just kind of turns and like goes and talks to someone else, just leaves you in the dust with your fedora and your mask.
I think that went well.
Yeah. And yeah, I think your fighter will go up and your lover will go down. Because you failed the roll. That's the one thing I have a hard time keeping track of in this game. Yes. Add one to fighter and subtract one from lover.
I love that he just. I'm sorry. I love that he has a katana. Like what?
Yeah, he does have a katana.
It's very intimidating.
Yeah, he's got it like he's got it in a well, I guess katana's usually on your back, right? Is that how you? Yeah. So he's got kind of when he turns away from you, Marlon, to like go talk to someone else. You do see his katana like on his back, like in a sheath, you know. But he's got the katana. Yeah, you reach a hand out. Yeah, I think the other two of you, yeah, you're in conversation with someone, James. I think the person that you go up and talk to, just for the sake of, you know, I have a certain number of NPCs already, I'll just choose one of them for you to be talking to. You go up to, I think just, she has such a magnetic kind of aura, Lady Eveline Evangeline. And so you kind of, you know, you're getting away from the butler and you kind of run kind of smack dab, not run into her, but kind of turn and Yes, probably, dressed, the most exquisitely dressed person you've ever seen in your life. And she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry to have been in your way, sir. I don't believe we've met before."
James turns and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to get in your way either, my lady. Yes, I am."
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for lover for this interaction. That's a 5.
Yeah, not gonna cut it.
Not gonna cut it. So
Not
yeah, go
gonna
ahead
cut
and
it.
move your stats. You move your fighter up.
Up to...
Yes, you move it up by 1, and you move your lover stat down by 1. Oh, wait, is that right?
I think so.
How are you already at 5? Oh, because have you failed twice?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you should be at 4.
No.
I was gonna say.
No, because I raised it once already.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're about to be betrayed if you don't if you don't do something. Yeah. So you did you say what your name is? You just did that voice, and my mind just went blank.
Sure.
Same.
Yeah. It's a pleasure, my lady, and my name is James Johnson, Lord James Johnson. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, James Johnson. She shakes your hand. Actually, I think she holds her hand out for you to kiss.
And James takes it.
And she says, I actually believe I have heard of you before. You're a bit of a known, well, you're a murderer, aren't you?
Well, my lady, I served the Royal Army, and if that's what
She
you
says,
consider
no.
to be
I
murder,
mean, in your youth, didn't you murder someone before you were in the army? Didn't you?
my lady, that is all hearsay, and I've heard that before, and I would just like to clear that up. I have never murdered anyone.
Oh, that's interesting. Then how did that young man die then? I thought you were in a duel, and you murdered someone in the duel.
Oh, the duel. Well, with all due respect, my lady, I don't consider a duel to the death to be murder. It was an honorable death that he died.
I see. Well, it was very nice meeting you. I'm afraid I have somewhere to be. And she turns, the butterflies kind of following along behind her. So far, kind of striking out with these NPCs. But yeah, you I think turn, and you can see the other two, the other two of your compatriots here, and all of you I think have Well, Ava, are you wearing a mask?
I am wearing like a black cat mask.
Oh, okay, cool.
I look like a kitty at a tea party.
So yes. I love it. I already love your character so much. James, you turn around and see similar the expression on your own face of like having experienced rejection. You turn and find the other members of your group tonight with similar expressions, visible to different degrees. The Phantom, you can kind of just see, the one eye and the mouth that's kind of like a little bit sad. Yeah. The cat at the tea party, just, yeah. Your flirtations have not gone as well tonight as you'd hoped. But to be fair, that's not the main reason you're here tonight. So, yeah, you see the other two people here.
James is not used to rejection either. It's usually very smooth.
Yeah,
Smooth talker.
something in the air tonight. Not doing
We are
this well.
throwing thirds around.
Yeah. Maybe it's, is a very decrepit mansion. So maybe it's kind of like, you're all a little bit off your game. But yeah, do you want to meet up with, try to make a game plan, or are you gonna, you all there's other people you can try to flirt with as well. And also, you might need to do something. I don't know where everyone's stats are at, but this might be a good chance to move some things around.
James is on death's door right now. He's looking terrible. He's all pale.
Emotionally devastated. Yeah. What stat do you is about to kill you? Which one?
The lover stat.
Okay,
is
so
a 1.
So the 5 is the one you need to be worried about.
Oh, that's right.
If it gets to 6, that's bad. High numbers are bad. So you would want to shift 1 point from fighter into lover. So by doing that, you do need to undertake a romantic dalliance or extravagant affair to try to get this under control. So.
Oh.
I think I won't. I don't think would make sense to have you all roll for those, because otherwise because when you succeed or fail, it messes things up. So if you just like find a different, like maybe not a named NPC, if you want to find someone to flirt with or something like that to do your stats, I think that's fine.
Okay. Is there music playing at all?
Yes.
At this?
Yes, there's some people dancing. There's some
people
live.
dancing?
There's some live music. It's a very small. I think it's maybe just like, maybe just like a violinist and a flautist.
Okay.
Just 2 people. Not the fanciest ball you've been to. Should we put Cece away? She's really
fine.
She's going after you.
Yeah, I guess. James like kind of turns away from his rejection. He sees you guys. He kind of looks around and like basically just like the first woman that he sees who he thinks would be interested in a dance, he goes up right away and.
Yeah, you turn and like kind of almost like just like put your hand out, and immediately there's like a woman kind of nearby. You just like turn and like sweep her into a dance.
Oh, I don't even ask. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, it's, she takes your hand.
Okay,
so it's not, you don't just grab someone, but you put a hand out, there's a woman, she takes your hand, and you have a quick dance, and yeah, you can adjust your points so you're not about to die. So yeah, the other 2 of you see James like turn around, having just been extremely shut down by like probably the most beautiful woman at this ball, and then you just see his face for a split second of rejection, and then he immediately turns and begins to dance with someone else. What are the 2 of you up to?
So we should probably get to business and start, like, figuring out what we're gonna do as far as finding the inventor.
I don't like the goat man. Goat man's mean.
I don't like him either. So we're bonding over how we don't like this goat man.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I get
my full name, but
I forgot to write down his name, so he's just
yeah.
Bash.
Goat man. Yes.
Goat man.
So can I get a taste of that conversation between the 2 of you of you talking about the goat man?
Oh, you got rejected by the goat man too?
Yeah. He was really rude, and like he was looking at my cupcake like it was disgusting, which it is. But yeah, that was kind of rude of him to judge me.
So you didn't even talk to him?
No.
Oh.
You talked to him?
I talked to him. He asked a lot of questions I didn't have answers for.
I didn't have answers.
Because I couldn't think very well on my feet.
Oh, then why?
He's intimidating, okay? You see the katana on his back.
Yes, I did.
So I think it's just funny. So if Casey, do you want to tell everyone the origin of your katana fixation for this character because I think it's very funny.
So whenever Taylor sent us over the list of how to create our character, I misheard Tyler whenever he was reading off the list, and he said sort of person you fancy. I heard sword. So whenever we were like, going back and forth about, oh, this is the character I created, and he's like, okay, so what's the sort of person you fancy? And I said katana very enthusiastically, and it just stuck. So the sort of person I fancy is a man with a katana.
Very good. I love that. Yeah, so the two of you are talking about the goat man. I think Baron Bloodworth makes his way over to the two of you because he's kind of going around and talking to the different guests, and you two are kind of standing together, and he comes over and he says, I hope you're enjoying the ball tonight. Having a bit of the desserts I've provided. I don't know if it's so hard to tell who everyone is with these masks on, but I'm the Baron Bloodworth, and he, shakes each of your hands, and says, oh, I hope you're having a pleasant evening this evening.
Yes, I'm having a great time. I actually just had to pull her away from the desserts because she couldn't stop shoveling them into her face.
Yes, they were so good.
Yeah, I think if one of you want to roll a lover roll to schmooze, and this is a lie, so you can add an extra d6.
Yeah, that'd be me. I got a 1.
Nice. Yeah, so you can go ahead and bump your lover stat up and your fighter stat down. And yeah, you have your little thing about, oh, I had to pull her away from the desserts, and he says, oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. I was working on a bit of a budget this year, I sent a little too much to the local orphanage, but I just wanted to let the two of you know, I know normally the tower of the mansion is kind of available for, for rendezvous, dalliances, that sort of thing. It is Valentine's Day, but this evening, unfortunately, the tower is strictly off limits, so I hope the two of you will understand. I just wanted to go around and make sure everyone knows, because that is usually where people meet up.
Well, we appreciate your hospitality.
Yes, of course, and I appreciate your presence here tonight. And I'm sorry, like I said, the masks. What were your names?
My name is Marlon Wells.
Marlon Wells. Okay, that must be a friend of a friend. And your name, young lady?
Gladys Footworth.
Gladys Footworth. Oh, you must be new money. I don't know that last name at all.
Yes, very new money.
Very. I think someone else kind of flags him over to talk to him. He says, I'm afraid I must excuse myself, but it was very nice meeting the both of you, Marlon and Gladys. And he kind of walks away. Gladys Footworth. Also, I had a little... Where did my little thing go? I had a little... Oh, here it is. I had this. I couldn't find it. I was going to use for the Baron.
Next time.
Oh, next time you see him. Oh, okay. So I'll let the three of you conspire for a moment. Melanie just redeemed cape time, which means I have to go grab my cape and put it on for 5 minutes. So I have to go get that. But if the three of you want to meet up and figure out your plan.
That's with Twitch is like there's a lot of cool interactions that people can do with streams
cool.
and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
So there's obviously something in that tower.
Yeah.
But be careful, it's off limits, so don't take your women there.
But that could be the perfect cover, though.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, he hasn't told you yet, so...
That's true. I haven't talked to...
You can take the butterfly woman up there.
Okay.
If I can get her back. I mean, I do have a dance right now, so that might be able to.
That's true. Yeah, you are mid dance.
You know,
So
take
Yeah, I
take
guess
a tour.
we could chat with her over the butterfly woman. So
Um.
Don't
we
mind
should
me. I'll just wear this for a little bit.
So we should probably cut in on his dance and let him know, like, hey, something's up in the tower.
Well, why don't you go do that, since it's much easier for you to cut in on a dance than for me.
That is true. So I will cut in and say, hey, James, mind if I cut in and, you know, talk with you about, hey, there's something going on in the tower. Just to let him know.
Yeah.
My lady, pardon me, but as you can see, I am in the middle of a dance with this beautiful young woman, and I would like to finish the song if you don't quite mind.
So we are here for a reason, James.
Yeah,
In case you
I'm
forgot.
screaming. My dad.
And how about you just take this pretty woman that you're dancing with up to the tower, and we will follow. And you know, you won't even know we're there. Like, just go into the tower.
The woman
Oh.
the woman you're dancing with, I think she's dressed as what could she be dressed as? I think I'm thinking of vampires, because Melanie said she thought everyone would have capes, like cheap vampire capes. I think this woman is wearing a vampire cape. She's dressed as a vampire, and she says, I don't know how, so you're gonna take me to the tower, and then people are gonna follow us and watch us or something. I just feel a little.
No, my lady, I can assure you that I just came here with some fine friends of mine, and we were about to take a tour of this beautiful mansion, and I thought you might like to join us on the tour. I'm very knowledgeable about these sorts of things.
I think this is a lover role.
Okay.
It's like to try to get her to come with you to the tower. Oh,
wow,
nice.
nice.
Okay,
Yep.
so your lover goes up by 1, and your fighter goes down by 1. Because you got a 1. And she kind of looks a little bit like, unsettled, but somehow, you're mechanically you're very charming. The choices you've made are, interesting, but she says, okay, yeah, I'd love to see more of the mansion. I thought the tower was off limits, but I guess if you're, so knowledgeable, I guess I'll come with you and your friends.
Off limits, you say?
Yeah, the Baron came over and told me that the tower was strictly off limits this evening.
Oh.
So I thought that, but if you say that, that we can go there, I guess we can go there.
Well, it shall be all the more romantic to take you there, then, my lady.
You can't see, but Mike is just gently touching my arm, like just barely touching my arm while he says that. And she, you got a 1, so she finds this charming.
And
says, okay, yeah, sure, let's go. And this woman dressed as a vampire.
Wonderful.
Ready to go to the tower with you. with all of you.
Just taking her along.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess, are you, I think I'll have, because you kind of want to get there without somebody noticing. So I think I'll just have everybody roll a fighter roll to try to be sneaky and make your way over to the tower. So if anybody has, I think probably Charlatan. Oh, you already got a 1. I was gonna say Charlatan, and I could see Duplicitous both getting Actually, I think, and one of you has acrobatics, so I think all of you can roll 2d6, because I think all of you have things that could apply to this. Okay, I can
I
take my
got a
cape
4.
off. A 4.
I got a 1.
Okay, so a 1 definitely succeeds. Mike got a 1. What is your fighter stat at now?
My fighter stat is 2.
Okay, so Ava and James, you're able to kind of you both succeed, so your lover stack goes up and your fighter stack goes down. Marlon, the other 2, well 3 because it's including this other woman dressed as a vampire, they're able to kind of duck out of the ballroom and make their way up. You're kind of, in the shadows trying to kind of make your way as well. And you feel a hand on your arm and you turn as the other 3 slip away. And this mechanical man, the butler, I think you're just outside of the ballroom. So you're out of sight of everyone else. The other 3 have kind of disappeared around a corridor. So it's just you and this butler in the hallway as he takes your arm and says, "Excuse me, where do you think you're going?"
Sorry, I just need to stretch my legs a bit, kind of walk around away from the dancing and everything. I will return back to the same area.
He kind of narrows his eyes. He says, trying to see like who you are under this mask, and pulls out a little paper list, and says, "And pardon me, but I don't quite recognize you. I don't know if you're on my guest list this evening. What was your name?"
My name is Marlon Wells. I actually already spoke with the Baron. I'm here with a friend.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. I guess this would be lover, and it's duplicitous, so you can have advantage. It is funny to roll lover when you're just like trying to talk to this butler, but
Want to roll low?
yeah.
Okay, I got a 1.
Perfect. Yeah, so your lover stat can go up, your fighter stat can go down. And when you say like,
Oh, that's bad.
oh no, are you at...
I?
Yeah, I did. I didn't get a chance after that last roll to go brood somewhere.
Okay, this is so early. I'm gonna bend the rules a little bit and give you a chance to...
Let's just say I brooded for a little bit before that
Yes,
happened.
yeah. You brooded. That's why you got caught. Because everyone rushed ahead. You brooded for a moment and got caught.
Yeah.
But the butler, you mentioned Baron Bloodborne, and he kind of goes like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you. Of course, continue on," and kind of goes back into the ballroom. And yeah, I'll give all of you a second if you need to adjust your stats if you're at a 5 on anything.
I am at a 5 on fighter right now.
Okay.
I'm back at a 5 on lover, so I need to do some more brooding. I'm a dark.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have your options for flirtation are a little limited. There's the vampire woman that's with you, and then of course there's
I feel
James.
like you blamed her. So, where's the katana man? Like,
Round 2, let's go.
Yeah,
I know I wrapped through this garden or whatever, but like, where is he? Like,
yeah. I think you're kind of on your way to the tower, and you, I like this. I think this is funny. So the Katana Man is coming back from the tower. Like, he, like, went over there and is, like, somehow, like, went around a different doorway or something, like, kind of after he left ways. And you're kind of walking past each other, and he says, "If you're headed up to the tower, I believe it's off limits. I saw a sign over there. I was going to bring someone up there with me." But the Katana Man is available to flirt with.
Okay, so I am, what do I just have to...
For this, you don't have to roll anything because, to refresh the points, because otherwise I feel like it would be like kind of a cycle where like you'd either succeed or fail, and then...
I don't want to die talking to him, so how do I adjust?
So just, if you need to flirt with somebody, you can move a point from fighter into lover. So your fighter stack goes down by 1, your lover stack goes up by 1.
Cool, so I'm gonna go up to him and tell him, like, hey, why were you going up there with someone? Like, I'm available.
Very direct.
That's a very, very direct flirtation. He says, oh, well, I have to admit I hadn't really considered you ever since I saw you eating that, the Baron's not around that horrible dessert, but,
Am I around?
Yeah, you and the vampire woman are also there.
Okay.
Well, I can ask him, like, hey, like, we're all going up there, like, come with us. Like,
oh, yeah, he says, well, there is a sign that says we're not supposed to go up there. That doesn't bother you at all?
no.
No, we're sneaking up there. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, I dare say it's much more exciting to have a little flirtation in a tower when you're not supposed to be there. I'll come along. And so this goat man dressed in purple comes with you. What do you think, Marlon, you're a little bit behind everyone else. You went off to brood. You kind of ducked off. There's a nearby balcony. What do you think Marlon is thinking about as you're kind of looking out over this balcony brutally?
So, Marlon's really beating himself up right now because he's supposed to be this highly intelligent person who's able to come up with these master schemes to get around anything. And it's just not working for him tonight. So he's flashing back to all these times where he'd been abused for giving wrong answers or not being smart enough. So he's kind of down in the dumps about that, burning over past failures.
Yeah, as you're doing that, you don't notice, but there's some I think some ladies down in the garden that you're kind of like looking out over, and they're this is a scene that you can't hear, but who is that man up on that staring so brutally out over the grounds? And yeah, you can go ahead and move a point from lover into fighter by brooding handsomely about how difficult your life is.
With the fedora.
With the fedora.
It's a real confidence boost.
I love it. Cool. So I'll say after that little brood, and you can hear behind you, kind of echoing through the corridors, you hear the voice of maybe now your nemesis, this goat man, saying, "Oh yes, I'll come up with you up to the tower, whatever you're planning to do." But you've managed to evade the notice, or not evade the notice, but evade the machinations of the butler, and so all now five of you, yeah, all five of you are at the tower, and you do see a little sign there, like it's like one of those things like with the chain with the sign that says like off limits or whatever at the base of the tower, and the what is his name, Bastion, and this unnamed woman who I guess I should give her a name.
James has not yet asked for her name.
Yeah, you don't know her name either. This vampire woman that you're with, and you're looking up the staircase to this tower, yeah, I think the Bastion kind of like lifts the chain, like kind of unhooks it and says, "Well, what are we waiting for?" and starts to walk up, and as soon as he gets like maybe like 5 or 6 steps up, and steps on one of the steps, and all of the steps like flatten down and turn into like a slide, like you hear like a click sound, and he just slides back down to the bottom and hits his head, and is knocked unconscious at the bottom of the tower.
Oh, jeez.
So we're gonna make the vampire woman go next, right?
I don't know. Seeing him fall on his face was good enough for me.
The vampire woman is looking at you a little nervously,
James.
and she says, "I really don't know. James, do you think it's do you think we should go up? It seems like we really are not supposed to go up there.
James says, "Oh, I'm sure he's fine. Let me go check on him." And James is gonna go and see if this guy is like still like breathing. Or,
He is still breathing. Okay. Yeah, he bonked his head pretty hard, but there's no like he's not like laying in a pool of blood or something. Like sure. he's unconscious, but he fell pretty hard. It's just kind of sprawled out. He's got the mask has kind of fallen away from his face, revealed this very handsome face, and his katana is kind of like to his side. Actually, when you go over to check on it, it seems like the thing that happened is he slid down and the hilt of the katana, like he fell down and it kind of like ricocheted off of something and just cracked him in the back of the head, and that's actually what knocked him out. His katana was his downfall, you note. As you're doing that, the stairs click back up into stairs.
Looking at the stairs, is there any like button that may have triggered that, or is it just based on weight on the stair at all?
It looks like there was a certain stair that he stepped on that triggered it. But it's not like you wouldn't know if like all the stairs past a certain point will do that, or if it's just the certain stair that he stepped on. He didn't make it past the one stair, but you did see it kind of depress a little bit before the stairs turned into a slide.
Well, we could try skipping that stair.
That's an option, and I have the acrobatic skills, so I can kind of try and
thanks for volunteering.
shimmy my way up.
Cool, yeah, go ahead and roll. I think this would be fighter, and you can get 2 2d6.
Okay. Alright, I got a 1 and a 6.
Okay, cool. So the 1 is good. So your fighter skill will go... Wait, I keep getting this backward. When your playing goes off, your lover skill goes up and your fighter skill goes down.
Oh, okay.
Because didn't she succeed at the fighter skill though?
Yes, but that's part of why this game confuses me, because it doesn't actually matter what you roll. It's just if you succeed, lover goes up, and if you fail, fighter goes up. So when the plan goes off without a hitch, add 1 point to lover and subtract 1 from fighter. When you encounter unexpected difficulty, add 1 point to fighter and subtract 1 from lover.
That explains why we were dying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, that is also, like, what confuses me with this game and with Honey Heist, because I always want it to be, like, when you succeed at 1, like, that's how it goes, but it's static. That doesn't change.
Okay.
So because I succeeded, I should be at, 2 and 4 for fighter? Fighter being 4? Lover being 2?
Yes, whatever, you would add 1 to... Yeah, you would add 1 to lover and you would take 1 away from fighter, which is probably good, right? Because if you were at 2 for 1...
I was at 2 for lover to begin with.
So you should be at...
You should be at 3 and 3.
3 and 3, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because otherwise she would have been at 5 fire.
Yeah. So you are able to kind of size things up, and you notice like you're very gently kind of like putting your feet onto different platforms and things like that, and you are able to make your way up. And as doing so, you notice that like once you hit that so it's like 10 stairs up, there's the one that's the trap, and then you kind of go a little bit further, and every like 10 stairs there's another one of these things that'll turn it into a slide, and you're able to kind of communicate with everyone else with your supreme acrobatics. Actually, do you want to describe like what your acrobatics look like as you're kind of like making your way up this staircase, like how you're doing it acrobatically?
Yeah, so I have a cat mask on, so I'm very cat-like when I move around, and I even keep my fascinator in place while I'm jumping back and forth and kind of feeling the steps and seeing if it's able to take the weight. And communicating back to the people, hey, like, avoid this one. So it's every 10.
Yeah. And the rest of you are able to, because it's not, it's not difficult to just skip certain steps, so I'm not going to make all of you roll to go up to just walk over a step. Yeah. So the rest of you are able to make it up, and the woman dressed as a vampire is kind of looking at all of you nervously, and she's like, is it really worth it to go up here if there's like gonna be like traps and things? I think I might head back. I don't know. She's kind of looking at all of you partway up the stairs.
James says, "Not to worry, my lady. I will protect you."
Yeah, I think go ahead and roll lover to try to keep her from going back to the ballroom. Maybe flirting with someone who's a little bit less dangerous.
And learn her name.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, you're putting her life at risk, but you don't even know what her name is. Hey,
is it that much or less, or is it just less?
It's that much or less.
Okay.
So
Cool.
if your stat's a 4,
Yep.
then you're good. Cool. So then you'll put 1 into lover and take 1 away from fighter. But yeah, you say not to worry, my lady. I'll protect you. Did you ever decide what your sword looked like?
I switched it up to a dagger.
Okay,
Dagger
so
on it.
I think you put your hand on your dagger to kind of be like, I'll protect you, and she kind of nods. She still looks a little bit uncertain, but kind of like nods a little bit and says, okay. And yeah, you make your way up the stairs, and at the top of the stairs, you kind of get to this part of the tower where there's a door that opens, like, there's a door that's, like, kind of, like, to the next area. You open the door, and it's, like, actually outside of the tower. Like, there's a portion of it that's kind of wrapping around on the outside. And you can see, actually, everybody go ahead and roll fighter to see what you notice about this next area.
5.
Oh, that was a 6, so I think that's a failure for you.
That's a failure.
Okay, so you bump your fighter up and your lover down. Is a 5 a success or a failure for you, Tyler?
It would have been a failure because I had a 2 and 5.
Okay, so then your fighter will go up and your lover will go down. And then, Casey, what did you get?
I had a 4, which was a failure.
Okay. So yeah, same thing for you. Your fighter goes up and your lover goes down.
Okay.
You all kind of start making your way across this kind of rickety thing. I think there's only room for like one person to go at a time, like in this kind of more narrow, like outside stairway. What order do you think the 4 of you are in?
Me? I'm gonna let the vampire woman go first.
Okay, so the vampire woman is first. Actually, I think I am gonna make you roll lover to see if you can convince. She's already kind of nervous, so go ahead and roll lover to see if you can have her go first.
Yes, 2.
What do you say to convince this nervous woman who no one has even bothered to get her name?
I simply ask her, "What is your name?"
She says, "Oh, yes, my name is Catherine."
Catherine, you are brave and you're going to lead the way.
She is bolstered by this, kind of wraps her cape around her a little bit and goes to the front, and pretty quickly she kind of, you see she steps on one of these parts of these wooden stairs, and it just like is split in the center, and as soon as she steps on it, it falls out below her. She starts to fall through this gap. She's not completely all the way down. Just screams as she starts to fall down from the tower. What do you guys do?
This is why we made her. I mean, what are your abilities? You're a mastermind. kind of help out with, I don't know, masterminding something.
She was about to go back and tell everyone. If we pull her up now, she's just going to go tell everyone what we're up to. I say we let her fall.
And
How
then
do you feel about James?
and James says, "Catherine, no!" And he runs over to try and save her.
Okay, I think this is a fighter roll because it's like athletic to try to pull her up. So go ahead and roll that. Does this fit into? I mean, arguably this does fit into etiquette. It is good etiquette to save someone from death.
Is that good etiquette?
I think that is good etiquette. So yeah, you can go ahead and roll 2d6.
Nice.
That one's not gonna do it.
That's not very good. Oh, also not gonna do it.
You yell, "Catherine, no!" Run over. Meanwhile, Marlon and Ava are just like, she's falling, her hand is like gripping onto things, she's falling, you two are the closest, and you're kind of just going like, should we get her? I don't really know. Marlon says, I think we should just let her fall. James rushes up to save his kind of date for the night, and just, it's the thing where you grab her hand just in time basically for her to slip through your fingers and fall, presumably to her death.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry.
Is there what do you say? What do you say as your date falls off this tower?
It's the great Valentine's Day.
Yeah, this is our Valentine's Day stream. If you can't tell. Do you have anything to say?
I don't know. I think James, when he sees her fall, just be like, "No!"
Yeah, you look away. The last thing you see is her hand up, her mouth open. You can see her little fangs,
Oh my
her fake
gosh.
fangs, and her vampire cape flapping in the wind.
Jeez.
And you look away. And
Brutal.
yeah, I think now that you all know kind of these stairs are trapped as well. I think it's the same thing where it's like, now that you know that this is happening, I won't make you roll anything to try to get through them. You've already witnessed someone die.
Absolutely brutal. Holy moly.
Also, since you failed your fighter stat,
Yeah.
you did that already.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you make your way into so this kind of part wraps around the tower and then goes back inside. So you open the next room, and it's a dark room, and you can't really see anything in it. But you hear, as you open the door, you all kind of come into this room, and you hear this low-pitched growling sound, and turn to kind of like, maybe one of you turns to like go see like, okay, maybe we should walk back out. The door is locked behind you, as you're locked in this room with something that you cannot see. And I think with that, we're probably about at the halfway point of the stream. So we'll go ahead and go to a break as you're in this dangerous situation.
So ruthless. We're so ruthless. We just like leave behind these guys unconscious.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, I mean, this game does say you can swap the title to "I'm a fighter, not a lover," which seems to maybe be more the case.
There you go.
For the three of you. So we're gonna go to a break. We'll be back. Let's see, it's 7:50, so we'll be back at, let's say, 8:05. So 15 minutes. And we'll be back with the second half of I'm a Fighter, Not a Lover. We'll see what our heroes are up to. Yeah. What our heroes are up to next if you're able to liberate this inventor that you're supposed to be saving. And for anyone watching, if you stick around during the break, it's a great time to get some more of those felicitations, which you can use to make me put on a cape again. You can play sound effects, all sorts of things. Actually, I think in honor of the passing of Catherine, the vampire woman, this is a good one.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So yeah, with that, we will be
Tragic.
back. Yeah, we'll be back in 15 minutes. I almost said end stream instead of my break screen. That's not what I want to do. And yeah, we'll see you all in just a little bit. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience while I fixed my headphones. I wish I could say that's the only time that's happened on this stream, but it is actually not. It happened on the very first stream too. So to recap what has happened so far in this game, in the first half, we met our three adventurers, our debonair, swashbuckler, in theory charming, have been striking out with the flirting a little bit so far. But they are guests tonight, uninvited guests at Baron Bloodworth's annual Valentine's Day masked ball. And the three of them have been hired by the Queen to try to liberate this inventor, this famous inventor who the Baron has held hostage in his decrepit mansion. And the three of you kind of figured that maybe the tower is where this inventor is, because the Baron came up to you thinking that you were guests and said, hey, the tower's off limits this year. So you made your way up to the tower with a few one possible casualty, and then one person who was just knocked out. The Lord Bastion Minost fell victim to a trap, and his katana knocked him unconscious when he fell down the stairs that turned into a slide. And the named right before she died, possibly, Lady Catherine, who was dressed as a vampire, was convinced by Ava to go first in these rickety stairs, and she fell, presumably to her death. I keep forgetting your name. It's just James. Lord James Johnson tried in vain to rescue her, but she slipped right through his fingers and fell down off of the tower. But nevertheless, the three of you pressed on and made your way to the next chamber in the tower, where you found yourselves locked into this room and heard into a dark room and heard an ominous growling sound. So I think we'll start off with, if the three of you want to roll, I think this is fighter, to try to see what's up in this room. And I'll say I do think that the mastermind probably gets 2d6 for this. Because you're kind of trying to scout out what's up.
Oh, wow.
Not good.
2. Okay, so I'm assuming a 2 is a success.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Casey did not succeed.
No, I got a 6.
Okay. Yes, Mike and Casey, you can go ahead and you get your fighter stat goes up and your lover stat goes down. But Marlon, you enter into this dark room. I think I'm gonna say James is the one who tries to reach for the door and try to open it, because I think he was kind of in the back of the party, mourning his person that he was flirting with. And Marlon, you kind of narrow your eyes and you can see very dimly in the other end of the small chamber what looks like a big dog with the hair on the back of its neck kind of bristling, its teeth bared at you. And I think what you notice is that the light, there's maybe a sliver of light from somewhere in the room. Maybe it's like there's from the window or something, even though it's evening, glints off of the teeth. And they're almost metallic looking teeth of this dog. And I'll say, because you kind of rolled and were able to see what's going up, you'll have a split second to act first before this creature does.
Is there anything I can dive behind, like to my left or right, to kind of get out of immediate charge from it.
Yeah, I think there's I think this is maybe like some kind of sitting room or something like that. So there's like a desk maybe to one side, a big like overstuffed sofa to the other, that you could dive behind either one of those things.
Yeah, I just want to get something between me and it.
Yes. So you dive over to the side, kind of get yourself out of the way. Ava, this thing comes barreling towards you, this big dog. And it's like a big dog. It's like it's odd. I think the thing you notice as it's coming towards you, and sinks its teeth into your leg. The thing that is odd right now, especially, is that it looks kind of like a bulldog, but is huge. Like much bigger than what a bulldog would be, and it bites onto your leg. What do you do as this thing is biting into you?
I'm gonna do something. Well, say something that I would never actually do in real life. I am going to eat the dog.
Nice, yeah. So, go ahead and roll fighter, and you'll get 2d6 for it, because you are a pistolier. So it should be something you can do.
Wow, I really fail.
Did you get 2 6s?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that hasn't come up yet, it's kind of ambiguously written. There's a note on here that says, GM, if all the dice rolled show 6, something ridiculous and unpredictable has happened, introduce something new into the story. I wasn't doing it when you would just roll a single 6, because I feel like that has like too high of a percentage of happening, but you just rolled 2 6s. This dog like has you by the leg, and you know it went after you because of course you're dressed as a cat, bites into your leg, and I mentioned, there was kind of a window that some light was coming, jerks its head to the side, supernaturally strong, and you feel yourself start to sail out this window at the top of the tower, following your the almost karmic retribution. But yeah, you feel yourself starting to sail through the window. The other two of you, actually, I'll say James, you have not acted yet. What do you do?
Wait, so I take it.
Oh yes, your since you failed, your fighter goes up and your lover goes down. Does that put you at 6?
It puts me at
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I gotta go flirt with someone after like that.
Just casually hits the ground. Hey.
Yeah, you fall past Catherine.
I thought the crazy thing that was gonna happen was gonna be that Bastion, what's his name, was gonna come back with his katana and save.
Oh no,
Ava.
I figured it should be something bad.
Okay. I see.
But yeah, I'll give you a moment to react, James.
How much does he even see of that?
I think you definitely see. I mean, it's dark, but like you have a split second for your eyes to adjust. Things are happening in shadows. You see the form of Marlon jump to the side, kind of behind a desk. You see this dog rush forward, bite Ava in the leg, and toss her towards the window. She, I think, is like, and you hear the crash of glass as Ava starts to make her way out the window.
Jeez. Okay. So, James is going to, I think, pull out his dagger, and he's gonna say, "On guard, demon!" And he's gonna lunge at the dog.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. This would be a fighter roll. This doesn't really apply to any of your skills, so it'll
Not
just
really.
be 1d6.
Is it etiquette?
I don't believe this is etiquette.
Alright. Cool. Oh,
Nice.
Ayo.
Okay, so your lover stat goes up and your fighter stat goes down. Mike rolled a 1, so that's a success. So you stab into this dog, and as you do, you notice something very odd, which is that this dog seems to be mechanical. Like, this is not like a living breathing dog. So as you stab into it, you definitely like sever, like maybe there's some like an oil valve or something like that that you kind of stab into and like feel oil kind of splash out of it. And yeah, Marlon, you you can see Ava almost in slow motion, like backwards, kind of going through the window. James is stabbing this dog, and you're kind of behind a desk. What do you want to do?
I'm assuming there's no need to even worry about the dog anymore because he's kind of done in with it.
The dog is not. Oh, my mic is really warm. I'm like screaming. The dog is not like done for. But is like definitely like in the mix with someone else. So if you wanted to do something, the dog probably would not immediately be in your way.
Yeah, I'll probably take a peek out the window to see if I can see what happened to her.
So I think she's still
just
falling. She's just like, this is happening very quickly. So I think I'll give you all a chance to
manage to like grab onto something that I can just reach out and like pull her up then.
Yes. So go ahead and roll fighter. And I don't know that any of your kind of things apply to this one, so there'll just be a D6.
Yeah, it's a fail. Sorry.
So you kind of rush over, and a very similar thing where you grab her hand and it kind of slips away from you. But Ava, you are acrobatic. So I will say, as kind of maybe a last ditch thing before you start to fall, you have a split second to try to grab onto the windowsill. So go ahead and roll fighter.
Okay, this might kill me if I fail.
Well, that would be fitting because you would fall. But you can roll 2 dice.
Yep.
And you just have to get less than 5.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh. No. What?
There is proof, right?
Oh no! 2 6s again! Oh my gosh.
Well, maybe something good, wild could happen this time.
Well, that's true, although because you failed, your fighter stat goes to a 6. So,
yeah, so I'm dead either way.
Yeah. Here's I think what we'll do. First of all, what do you think Ava's what do you think the last thing you do as you follow? Again, I think probably going through your mind has to be some sense of karma as you are flying from this tower, much like the woman you convinced to go first before you. What do you think Ava does or says as kind of your last moments on Earth?
You know, I'm just thinking, why did I even sign up for this job with these 2 guys that I barely know? They kept like chatting up women and we're like, oh, what are you even here for? And, you know, I carried those 2 boys to that tower basically, and then I died. So I'm just a little bitter.
Yeah, so your last thoughts are just a bitterness. As you fall to your death.
Wow.
But I do think there is something good so that Casey can keep playing. So Casey, if you want to go ahead and while the rest of the scene is playing out, roll a new character. But I'll tell you that this character, actually, I'll just let you pick maybe. Because I think you're going to take over and play Lord Bastion.
Okay.
So because you got 2 6s, the thing that happens is you're fighting this dog, and yeah, I think the door is flung open, and the 2 of you see mid-fight kind of outlined in the door behind you is this goat man. That you have a complicated history with.
He was too late.
He was too late, but yeah, Casey, you can play as Lord Bastion for the rest of the thing. So you can kind of just, if you want to just choose, you can roll or choose the stats. you are a little bit boxed in because I've established a few things. You do have a katana.
Yes.
But yeah, James, you're locked in fight with this mechanical dog. Do you want to go ahead and roll me a fighter roll?
That's wild. I can't believe it. I actually didn't think anyone would actually.
I have not. This is the first time I've had a stream where somebody died.
You know.
The dice have their story to tell.
That's a failure on the fighter.
Okay, so yeah, so you change your stats. The dog gets a real nasty bite at you.
Ostensibly pious.
I'm very excited to see how Casey plays Lord Bastion.
I keep rolling 6s. I just rolled 2 more 6s in a row.
If this was a different game, that would be good.
So far, it's very fitting with Bastion.
That's, I love it. Yeah, what are the 6s? Oh, yeah.
3. Okay, finally. He's a mastermind.
Actually, I think you should just go ahead and just say take sword fighter, because that is just.
That's
Bastion
true. If you want to switch mastermind to sword fighter, since we have a mastermind already, that fits because Bastion has a katana.
Well, it described him as a swordsman when he was first introduced too. So
that's true.
like a very skilled sword fighter, so that fits.
Yeah.
The other 2 things are something somebody pompous would be anyway.
It was meant to be. And your stats will be at 3 and 3.
Okay.
Because you're starting this new character. So yeah, you, James, you attempt to stab into this mechanical dog, and it kind of rolls out of your way and bites onto your ankle and flips you over onto your back. Bastion, you come into the room to see these people that you kind of had agreed to have a rendezvous up in this tower with, one of whom is missing. Actually, two of the people are missing. And James is being viciously attacked by a dog. What do you do as you come into this room?
Well, I get my katana out. I am ready to fight. I have no clue what's going on. I know I was unconscious at the bottom of the steps. And then I managed to get up there somehow. And then I heard screaming, and my katana is out and ready to go.
Yeah, so you heard crashing glass, screaming. You come in. Go ahead and roll me a fighting roll, and I'll say you get advantage because you get to roll 2 d6s because this is your specialty, sword fighter.
James, before he sees Lord Bastion pull out his sword, and says, "Sir, this is an honorable one-on-one duel. Please do not interrupt."
So I rolled a 2.
Perfect. Yeah, you wield your katana. Describe to me how you take care of this mechanical dog as you slay it with your katana.
I chop off the head.
You enter the room wielding your katana very, very elegantly with one swift motion, decapitate the mechanical dog. James, you're laying on your back with a quite bad injury on your ankle. But the room is clear to continue on your adventure.
I knew that beast would be no match for me. That's what James says.
You all continue. I'll let you all take a moment too if you need to readjust your stats, because there were a bunch of rolls. So if anyone wants to look wistfully out of a window or find someone to flirt with.
I mean, I'm good.
Okay. How are you doing?
I'm at 2 and 4.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, it's up to you.
I think that's alright with me for now.
So, with me being like right by a desk, is there like an inkwell or something, or like some sort of container?
Yeah.
Because I want to get some of the oil out that's pouring out of this dog and store it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe with like some fabric that can be lit on fire eventually.
Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to. I think you find a bottle of wine that's like kind of stashed away. So the three of you, if you want to take a moment to empty the bottle of wine.
Some wine.
Sure, but what are we demon doing here?
Did you not see the demon dog?
That doesn't answer my question.
Yes.
Yes, a drink after a gentlemanly duel. As my leg is like bleeding.
Yeah, the scar on your hand from your old dueling accident is throbbing in remembrance of previous duels. Yeah, I think it's just so funny that Casey just is like this other person now. It's just like,
And there's no explanation to him. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. Like, it's just, oh yeah, fight the dog. Okay, keep going.
yeah, you all have some wine, and Marlon, you have an empty bottle you can fill with some oil from the dog.
Yep, making a makeshift Molotov cocktail.
Yes. Very good. Yeah, I think also, because since there's a desk, I think you find a little, like a little tinder box, too, like someone would maybe use for a pipe or something like that. And you make your way to the next area. Bastion may be a little bit confused, unsure of what the goal is, but
Two people went.
yeah, but following along. The door after that, after this chamber that you're in, you open the door, and your eyes take a minute to adjust to the light, because you just went from this dark room to this room that's lit. The room is cold enough that you can see your own breath. It's very cold up here. And you can also see a bundled figure seated at a desk in the corner of the room, lit by lamplight. The figure turns to face you. You see a woman with very, like, kind of angular features, and graying short hair. She turns and looks at you, and she smiles, seeing the three of you. But I think again, this is a good roll for the mastermind if you want to roll fighting to perceive something, and you can roll 2 dice because it fits into your.
It's a success. I rolled a 2.
Nice. You see that she's smiling, but she's not smiling at you. She's smiling at something behind you. You turn and see behind you the Baron Bloodworth standing in the doorway, having made his way up behind all of you, even behind Bastion. And he's still wearing his mouse mask, standing in the door behind you. And the woman stands, and I think when she stands, you see her, she has this kind of shawl that she was using to keep warm. It falls off, revealing that she's wearing this yellow dress with these black polka dots of varying sizes. And as she stands, out from her desk skitter these tiny mechanical mice. And she turns and looks at James, and she says, "Do you remember me, young man?" Surely you remember me.
Do I need to roll or anything? Or can I just say it?
Well, yeah, go ahead. I think go ahead and roll. I think that's a good decider. So I think this is like interpersonal, I think. This could be lover. And I'll say it's kind of etiquette. So you can roll 2 and take the lower one.
Oh, nice. Close.
Oh, you do not recognize this woman. And she scowls at you and says, "My name is Therese Wagner. Does that name ring any bells?" And Wagner does ring a bell for you. You remember long ago the duel where you killed your opponent was Thomas Wagner. It's the person you killed. And she says, You killed my brother. And these mechanical mice kind of come forward, and behind you the Baron says, yes, you see, we all knew that you were coming. We've known the whole time. We lured you here. I don't remember if this is what the Baron's voice was. It was so long ago that I did it. And he takes off his mask and he says, you, Marlon, I was friends with your family. And my wife, Therese here, has a bone to pick with James. And, to be honest, I don't really know, Bastion, what you're doing here, but...
Either.
But if you're with the three of them, today is the day where you must die. And he pulls out a sword. And yeah, you all have a moment. This has been an ambush the whole time. The inventor, was not here to be rescued.
Oh, dang.
See that coming.
So yeah, is there anything that you want to do with this dramatic reveal? They're going to kill you. You can tell pretty certainly they're going to try to kill you, if that helps.
Try and just do a lover roll right now and be like, look, I don't know what
All
I'm doing.
just get along.
I'm just gonna say, look, do what you want with these two. I just met them. I'm out.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and roll lover, and let me see. What is your ability? Artistic performance and sword fighter. Yeah, I think I think unless you can figure out a way to get some sort of artistic quality in what you're saying, I think it's just gonna be 1d6.
I can sing a song about how we could all just get along.
That's a good idea.
If you, Casey, sing a song
Yeah.
right now about how we all can get along,
Yeah.
I will let you roll 2d6.
I don't want to die again.
I think she means you actually have to sing.
I know.
You're thinking.
Yeah, it's even an option. I can sing. I got it too. Can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along?
You dance your way out the door past.
Aw.
You just do like almost like the Michigan J Frog, like the little kicks. As you're wearing a goat mask. You're just like you're also wearing all purple, tight purple pants, a purple jacket. And you sing "Can't We All Just Get Along?" Do a little dance, and then shimmy out the door, leaving the other two of you. An opening, I'll say. I think that gives you a little opening to maybe make an attack or do something to get out of here. The mental image.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess James is he's gonna go right for the fight. He's not gonna
Not try
not gonna try
sing
and
his way
dance.
out.
dance out. He'll look at what's the woman's name?
Oh yeah, Therese Wagner.
Therese Wagner. He'll look at Therese Wagner and say, wait, did I kill her son? Is that what you said?
Her brother.
Her brother.
Yeah, her brother.
James will say something like, your brother died an honorable death, and so shall you. And then he whips out his little dagger, and he's gonna dash at her.
Yeah.
We're not listening to Lord Bastion's song.
Now I imagine that the whole room just stopped and watched as you did that, and then it was like, okay, now back
to the fight. Yeah, go ahead and roll your d6. Nice. Cool. So that's a 1. That's a success. So yeah, you say that and you go at her with your dagger. She's able to kind of like, I think she sends, as this happens, you both kind of surge towards each other for a fight. And her little mechanical mice also come kind of like going around your feet, but you're able to kind of very deftly kind of jump out of the way, not fall down or anything, and stab right into her, I think right into her arm. And she kind of reels back a little bit, and the two of you are locked in combat.
Avasti.
Yeah, you say Avasti. The Baron Bloodworth turns to you, Marlon, and draws his own sword, a rapier, I think. He has like a very thin, like fencing sword. Draws that out and extends it toward you to initiate another duel. 2 duels at once.
Well, I guess on guard. Pull out my own rapier.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and do a fighter roll.
Fail.
Oh,
Dang.
no. So while James is kind of holding his own, the the two smaller people are kind of taking, maybe they're a little bit more nimble because the Baron is also kind of a slight man, and he kind of very nimbly kind of goes out and gives you, I don't think he successfully stabs you, but I think he kind of forces you into a less favorable position. So it's kind of like the Princess Bride thing, where it's like you kind of have your back against the wall, there's a window right kind of to your left, and you're
Hey, there's something I have not told you.
Yeah.
I can fight with the other hand.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Bastian, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm out of the room. No one followed me. No one wants to, follow that act, really. So I'm good. I'm going back to the party.
Bastian, you just leave. Yeah,
These people.
yeah, you don't really know them, and you weren't really that impressed with them,
Bottom of the steps. Like, why would I fight for them? Like, I'm going back to the party and to judge their desserts.
Yes.
So
yeah, so you're heading back. I think both James and Marlon, go ahead and give me fighter rolls to see how this plays out.
Can I add a lie to mine and say,
Yes.
Bastion, stay back? Like, make a thing that Bastion's coming from behind.
Yes. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, go ahead and roll 2d6. Yeah. It's duplicitous.
I got a 1.
Nice. So yeah, you say, Bastion, stay back, and the Baron kind of says like, what? And turns to look. Bastion, of course, would never attack someone who's in a one-on-one duel. That would be very, very against his etiquette. But the Baron doesn't know that, and so you're able to get yourself back into a good position and get a cut in on the Baron. And James, what did you?
I failed.
A failure.
James failed.
The little mice start to, I think one of them climbs up your pant leg, and so you're like trying to fight, but you're like, this mouse is like kind of crawling around your pant leg, which is very unsettling, very cold, and the inventor, Therese Wagner, takes the advantage, pulls out a dagger of her own and stabs you with the dagger as the mouse is kind of running all over you. And I think we should probably just do one more fight roll for each of you to see how this goes. And yeah, and if there's anything you can kind of tie in one of your specialties or anything like that, let me know what you're doing.
So I think it's obviously going to be your call if I can pull Mastermind for this. I'm gonna pull out that Molotov cocktail and light it.
Yes.
And go to
Yes. Yeah, actually, I think that's a strong enough move that I will say you can roll... I think you can go ahead and roll 3 d6s. And I'll even say with, like, the fire from this... Because you're actually throwing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, too, I'll also say that... that James can get 2d6 just because it's like something kind of wild is happening. Yeah. So you can go ahead and roll 3 for like preparedness as adding another one, and then James, you can roll 2.
I got a 1.
Hey.
Nice. Yeah. And let's see what James gets. You can roll 2. Oh, you only have 1 dice. Is that
It's
a success?
a success, yeah. So.
Nice. Yeah, you both succeed. So, go ahead and describe, Marlon, what it looks like as you throw this Molotov cocktail into the room and are able to make your escape as a result.
Okay, so I'm in this standoff with the Baron, and I just drop my rapier, pull out the cocktail, light it, and I just go, see ya. Chuck it at him. I'm like, James, it's time to go.
Yeah, James, you have this mouse kind of running around your leg. You're able to crush the mouse with your hand to the one thing that's mainly attacking you right now. The Baron and the Inventor both shield their faces, but it's too late. The room explodes into fire as the two of you are able to make your escape. The windows are blown out as this fire kind of explodes. Bastion, you hear this behind you as you're kind of making your way down the stairs. You hear an explosion. And yeah.
Faster. Can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along?
And yeah, you didn't exactly follow. Well, first of all, one of you died. One of the original 3 of you
Sure.
passed away. I think, yeah, I think we can probably wrap it up there. What do you think the 3 of you spend the rest of your evening doing? Having one of you, obviously Ava doesn't get to describe what she did, but Bastion and, Bastion and Marlon and James, how do you spend the rest of your evening?
So coming back down from the tower, getting back into like the main area, I just don't look at anybody, don't talk to anybody, grab a bunch of food, eat it because I'm hungry. I just lit stuff on fire, and then I just walk out the front door.
Yeah. Yeah. James, what do you think you do?
Did anyone else notice what happened, or is it too far away for anyone else?
No, I think everyone hears this explosion.
Okay.
So I think Marlon, as you're kind of getting all this food and heading out, like the people around the ballroom are going, "What was that? What was that sound?" Like people are making their way over to the tower. I think the butler kind of rushes over. You hear murmurs of people saying like, "Oh, I wonder if that's why the tower was off limits. Oh, somebody went up to the tower." Like, everyone's kind of talking about that. Marlon's kind of stuffing his face and making his way out. James, what are you doing?
It's a good question. I think James is going to find someone else to take the next dance. I think that's what James is gonna do.
Yeah, do you want to try again with Eveline Evangeline?
Yeah, I could try.
Okay, go ahead and roll a lover.
This will probably end up pretty accurate, actually. Yeah, okay. Fail.
Yeah, you have, like, you're openly bleeding from your leg. You have, like, soot on your face. And you walk up to, once again, the most beautiful woman, most well-dressed woman at this party. You're also, like, it's been established you essentially look like a pumpkin because you have a little orange hat and, like, orange clothes. You walk up to her, what do you say to her? I think she's dancing with someone else, and you try to cut it.
I have no idea. I guess James will say, "My lady, I shan't leave this evening until we've had a proper dance."
She looks kind of looks you up and down and says, "Well, I suppose you'll be here all night," and dances away from you. And Bastion, what do you think? You I think are just about to re-enter the ballroom when you hear this explosion behind you from the tower. How do you think you spend the rest of your evening?
You know, at that point, I just want to go home. Like,
He's had a night.
He's had a night. Like, he tried taking one girl up to the tower, then this other girl came in and was like, "Hey, you should take me." And then he does, and she brings around, like, these two guys that live at the bottom of the steps. He's unconscious. No one cares. And then, like, and he's expected to care? Like, no, he just wants to go home.
I love how both of your characters end with just exasperation. It's like airing your grievances and then heading out. Yeah, Bastion, you head out. You were much too cool for this party in the first place. You kind of were attending as a favor for the Baron. I think that closes the evening. The camera pans back and we see the tower ablaze, 2 dead bodies at the base of it. Two of you leaving, and James, I think, maybe just trying to find someone to dance with. And that's the end of our Valentine's Day stream of... I think we can safely say I'm a fighter, not a lover. I think we can safely establish that was kind of how it went. Thank you both, I mean all 3 of you, but thanks so much for playing and coming on the stream. This was super fun. We've literally been... Oh no! Get some sleep child in the chat says, "Wait, what? I just got here. You'll have to watch the VOD." I was getting almost TPK'd. Well, you did miss, one of the players tonight did die during the stream. One of the characters, not one of the players. None of the players died. One of the characters died. But yeah, let's, we can go ahead and if you all want to do your, well, you'll still have your view streak, because you have viewed. Go ahead and do your plugs again, before we, leave for night. For people, like, just get some sleep child who just, showed up at the very end. And I'll start with you two.
Okay. So, I'm Tyler. I was playing Marlon Wells in this. I'm the one who delightfully set the tower on fire. So just for the quick plug, we have some friends who started a Patreon. It is called Rules as Written. The whole point of their Patreon, it is a RPG campaign that's compatible with any setting, even 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. That is very community-based. So instead of it just being your one group that's playing, all the groups playing this campaign around the world are contributing to the overall story of this world that they've created and will be creating over the coming years. Each month they'll release a new adventure based on which faction you join, which each faction kind of has their own influences and all that across the world. So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/rulesaswritten and take a look at it. It's a lot of fun. I started playing it this week myself. It's a good time.
Yeah, and that link is in the chat. So if you're interested in that, you can click on that link. And then Casey, I know you're kind of plugging the same thing, but if you want to...
Plugging the same thing. I'm Casey. It was my first time playing anything like this, and I died. So...
And you also got to play twice as many characters as anybody else, so, you know.
Sampler edition, so it's all good.
Yeah. And then Mike, do you have anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm Mike, and I played James Johnson, and I guess nothing really I want to plug. I guess I will, of course, plug the stream here. Lots of cool stuff going on, and also, Rules as Written sounds rad, and I'm going to check it out. So definitely just take a minute. The link is in the chat, so just click it and check it out and see what's going on.
Yeah. And then I'm Taylor. I've been the DM, GM, storyteller tonight. I will really quickly go over some of the stuff we have coming up. Next Saturday, my friend Josh is running a game of For One Night Only, which is a cats-themed tabletop RPG. It's going to be really fun. If you liked the singing that Casey did tonight, there's probably going to be singing during that one. And probably similar level, yeah. And then the Saturday after that, I'm going to be running a game of Good Society, which is a Jane Austen themed tabletop game. So if you liked the kind of vague historicity of the stream, then you'll like that one. Or if you like Jane Austen. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I've been playing Spiritfarer, and then sometimes I do behind the scenes tabletop stuff. We are going to go ahead and raid Super Dylan. She is another tabletop games creator. She has a short campaign that is starting next month, Saturdays in March. I don't think they're playing D&D right now. I think they're doing like a podcast recording. But she's super great. She's a super cool creator. You can also follow her on TikTok. If you come along with the raid, you also get channel points that you can use to do things like make me wear a cape, which we did this time. But thank you all so much for hanging out and watching. And we will see you later. Thank you. Bye.